and comments, but also thank you for the for subscribing to my channel. So if you haven't done that, I invite you to do that now. And also, just remember, to feel free to leave a comment, or share or like this video. So I don't know why I said that twice. Anyway, I feel like things are moving quite quickly in some ways for some of you. So I'm just feeling my energy, starting to ramp up and start to talk. So I'm just asking them to slow down a bit so I can get through my introduction as smoothly and quickly as possible. So, and there may be something that's going on with you that you may be having to hold on a minute with certain things that are happening in your life right now. So so thank you for that. So just a reminder that these are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. So check out one of our other signs. If you don't know what they are, then there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a free calculator on there, and you can check it out from there. So this is for Leo, and Leo may be in your astrological chart, and maybe your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign for you. So anyway, welcome. So I just want to quickly mention too that these are going to be coming out now fortnightly now, in this particular way. So I'm just going to be doing a new series and a different, channeling some different information or similar information probably, but in a different way from some of the guides who from different dimensions and or galaxies as well. So we'll see what comes up through there. So there will be something coming up, in the intermittent. Intermittently. I kind of feel like that was not the word that I was actually going to say. So something maybe happening around you that is intermittent, actually. Anyway, I'll just leave that now. So, and carry on. So anyway, where are they going? So that will be starting next week, and then the following week I'll be getting back to these reads. So this is a forecast for the next next couple of weeks. Moving into next month. Next month. Sorry, I just had to balk at that. Next month. It's can't believe I'm actually saying that at the moment. Far out. So there is a sense of, something moving, something shifting for you. And maybe you might have been a bit hesitant, or something that's more coming together for you. And you may have had a little bit, some of it is maybe hesitancy, and some of it is just timing, basically. So then my hesitancy may be coming in the sense of you holding, just not having everything in place so you can run with it or run with something. Okay, so anyway, so this is a past, present, future, something about you, the challenge, some suggestions, advice going forward, and a possible outcome for you. So this is how we're going to do it. So I was kind of doing it that way in the beginning, but it's kind of just, shifting into something a little bit more structured, you could say. So there may be the fact that I'm talking about that right now in that way is that because it just slowed me. It's like something setting up a plan, basically, or setting up something more structured. So it's like a lesson plan, so there's a little bit more flow, or a little bit more not winging it, less winging it, basically, and there's a bit of a balance in there. So there's that sort of energy that I'm picking up on there. So the Eight of Swords, I see something, because which is where they're going with the Eight of Swords. I use what restricts me, and so there's this thing that maybe you were in, restricting yourself from your capabilities and your knowledge and the wisdom that's going out there with whatever it is. It could be that you're starting a new business. It could be that you're going into a relationship with somebody as well, that's got to do with a business as well as, or two or three actually, but working on some projects anyway. So you may have felt like a little restricted over, and it was just really confidence, but also and making sure that you had the right knowledge, that you were doing, the right things in place, basically. But it was, but there was some, and with bringing all that learning that you've over time, across time, and bringing it together, and having, stepping out and doing something, something new, something different for you. So then we have the Nine of Cups, so that moving into the present. So there's something that, you know, realizing that I am lavished with all the good things in life. So there's something that's shifting with you at the moment, and it's like moving into this sense of gratitude and realizing, actually, I do have it all. Like, you know, I have it all, really. I have it, and it's like your senses are more opening up to accepting what is and what isn't as well. So across time, and it's like maybe it will come together or coming together soon for you with the 9. So because it's like, you know, the 8 is like, there's that super realization that what is restricting me, you know, it's only me, to where, you know, I want to take my life, or what I want to create in my life. So it's cutting through a whole lot of those thoughts that have been restricting you in that sort of sense, that have been getting in your way. It's like you're more, you're shifting the way that you're thinking about things, and it's like you're taking more control of that, in the sense, like, because it's like, if something comes in, it's like, okay, that's not my thought. Not necessarily is it not so much is it not my thought, or necessarily, but there is something there, of course, that is yours, that's been the trigger, or something's triggered it to bring it out, so you can identify it, notice it. Phew. Oh. Okay, is there anything else you want to say? I've got someone here that's really wanting, one of my guides is just really wanting to, like, get across some messages, as you can tell. So there's that sort of thing. There's some sort of momentum building up. So you may have a bit of a rush and an idea or a thought on how to do something, and then a pause. Then you might get another rush of an energy, and it's like an idea, you know, a pause again. Same process, but it's like, but I just feel like there was, going back to that, when there was something that was, you know, and you're more in that place now, acceptance of it, and moving, allowing yourself to move it, and using whatever it is that was restricting you, in a way, restricting you, but it's like using it to be the thing that propels you forward, basically, that energy from them. So the 9 of Cups, there's a completion of a cycle, and that, you know, that things are starting to come together. You're more in tune with yourself, in a way to take yourself into the next level. You know, this is emotionally wise, intuitively wise, and creatively wise as well, bringing it all together. And so it's like, yeah, like I say, I'll keep going back to the senses are more heightened, and there's not so much, okay, not necessarily a connection to each and every one, but there is, in a way, and it may not necessarily be with everything that you're doing in your work at one time, but there's definitely something more coming together for you, when I'm hearing more so there for you. So I'm just going to pop these here, because I feel like lapis lazuli is one of the crystals that could be helpful with you for this month, okay? So the other thing is the King of Swords. So he's I believe in a world for all, but he is one that is, you know, in control, more knowing of himself and his thoughts. Is not going in his head all the time. He's like figured it out. And if it's something does come in, it's like, okay, explore that. Is it helpful? Is it not helpful? Where do I, you know, and that sort of thing. So, but it's not going to rule him. So the thoughts are like genuine, helpful thoughts, and like I say, if they're not, they're just like they're saying, if they're not, it's quite quickly filtered or processed, and how helpful that can be or not. Okay, beautiful. The King of Swords. So, but he is one who sees the world, you know, sees the unfairness things, and he wants to build a world that is, you know, like he says, I believe in a fair world for all. So there's a sense of that, you know, coming through with you as well. But it's like this is about you getting out of your head, basically. He can get in his head, but he's more in control of it, about not getting in there to the sense of allowing him to restrict, basically, which is where that 8 of Swords is. So then we come to you with the 4 of Pentacles, which is you, which is interesting. The 4 of Pentacles. I have great influence and power, and I kind of feel like they're bringing this to you to make you realize, and to let you know, that you actually do. We all do, but to be in that power, you know, we all do have great influence and power over ourselves and over our own lives. It's, you know, what are we, and with others as well in our lives, and what does that look like for us? What do we want that to look like for ourselves and for others, Okay, so then we have the Ten of Cups and the Tower. Okay, I felt like I thought there was something else that was, yeah, okay. The Ten of Cups and the Tower for the challenge. So there is something that is, you know, the Ten of Cups, there is definitely something that's coming into an end. Look at that, Nine of Cups there, 10 here, come moving. So there's something processing there. You're processing something in the present at the moment. Cool. And then the you moving into this Four of Pentacles. It's like, yes, identifying that, accepting that, acknowledging that part of you. Yes, that you are. And you do have great influence and power. And it's about, you know, obviously it's not going flipping, because I'm hearing like some energy. I'm hearing somebody saying or something, oh, that, you know, about the ego side of things as well. Not, and there is ego, you know. People give that, you know, a really rough, you know, a real rough, oh gosh, where's that word? It can be a bit rough with that word. And it's like, you know, because you know, there is a sense of the ego being there, because that's, you know, where we come from in a way, to some degree, with certain things that we do in our lives, and we need that like that little bit of bolshiness there, or that little bit of heightened sense that, you know, that, you know, of puffed, you know, that puffed upness and going either that way or that, you know, in a direction, not necessarily, but in a balanced way. So we can be over ego, we can be the egotistical side of energy, where we can be over the top with stuff, and then we can be the egotistical side of let our ego get in the way, in the sense that we go into that, you know, that lower vibrational energy. So that is like quite dense, and that can hold us off, and that sense, so where we can beat ourselves up. So it's finding that balance where we are, you know, in that ego of you know, of let's go do this, you know, let's go do this, to your, you know, speaking to myself, speaking to yourself, let's go do this, let's do this, you know, with a pinch of that side, but being mindful that we're not going under, you know, undervaluing as well as overvaluing in a way ourselves. Kind of, that's where that's the best way, yeah, okay, that I can explain it at the moment, or that's what bringing through for me to explain it at the moment. But I guess you'll know when you get there yourself. You'll have your own understanding, and that's free will of choice. That's all good. So, Ten of Cups. Oh, that's what it's getting, a bad rap, actually. That's the word I'm looking for, about the ego. Okay, so Ten of Cups, okay. There's this side of things here. I experience the joy of loving connection. So there's a shift in that sense there, that everything's coming together. This is about loving, you know, the family coming together, a step forward from the Nine of Cups, but it's like bringing in, and maybe there's a little bit of resistance there, or acknowledging that, allowing that to happen for some of you, or just seeing that, that actually everything is coming together. And so the Tower there is the breaking away of old stuff that basically that does not serve you any purpose for your highest good. So it's like, I know that radical transformation is required of me. So in the way that you see how families are. So maybe you're, you know, depending on your experience with families, there's something that you may be moving into a different, into this relationship, or out of a relationship. So it may have, you know, there are things going on, or your upbringing, you know, maybe it's slightly different, but there's something, there's a radical change, and it's like you're knowing that, but it's about how families come together, supporting you, but, you know, it's, yeah, and your own personal family that you've built, it's kind of like derived from blah, 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 from the past. So there's kind of like, there's a beautiful understanding that's coming through with there. So there's a transitional period there. So let go with it. Is in how, you know, there's some breaking down of barriers within you, basically. But also with you doing that, it's the breaking down of barriers out of you as well. So there's an inner truth coming out, so which is where this lapis lazuli is coming from. Okay, so I want to go to these ones first, and these two here, which is the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is like, there is something, you know, about, you know, I perceive danger everywhere. So this is about, you know, the advice or the suggestion card, and encouraging you to move out of that space. Okay, so this may, because of these relationships that you've had in the past, and the way that you've been brought up, not necessarily danger everywhere, but it can be perceived as danger. We put it in that category when we're in this fight or flight situation. So there's something about it's getting out of your head, okay, about what it is to do with families, and that it's breaking down those barriers there for you. So I do feel like there's a completion. There's something that's coming to an end with that cycle, which is beautiful, because you've been doing some some breaking down of barriers in there with family. So it's probably got to do around families, relationships in some sort of way, with yourself and with others, that is. And as you're moving forward into building different relationships or new relationships, okay, in a different way with the same group of people, or people around you, and it's not necessarily that something that doesn't serve you any purpose for your high school. It's like you embrace them necessarily. It means that you're allowing them to move in their path, and you're moving on in your path. Okay, with love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, and adventure. So it doesn't, hinder you. Okay, so then we have the King of Wands coming through that, and he helps bring you through that. And he talks about, I seek to change the world. So, and he's a leader, of course. So he's like, he's that charismatic leader, the King of Wands. So he is, comes with this beautiful, amazing energy to help pull you out of that space and bring out that charismatic side of you, who is and to live the life that you want to live on purpose, with love, with peace, and with joy, in abundance, with excitement and adventure altogether, and with prosperity and abundance and all of that. But tapping into your motivation and your, getting you motivated and getting you passionate about with these new ideas of where you're wanting to go with your spirituality, with everything about you, with whether it be with, like I say, family, but not just with your spirituality. There's a connection, or a deeper connection with that, within that sense. But he has a lot. He's the one that takes action and put things into place, with these ideas. So he brings you all that. So, and I feel like some of this perceiving of danger is not just necessarily around the family side of things, but it's also around, going into business, or, starting a new job or a new career, maybe studying. It may be, a brand new job that was completely you maybe finished your study and going into a job, looking for employment in there. So there's the King of Wands in that one. Then we have the Seven of Wands as well. I will not give up. That energy there, which is the final card today, which is the outcome, that energy that you go into. I will not give up. And it's like, I want to put that at the beginning, I will not give up, and take it all the way through all these cards, plant that energy there, but I will not give up. Okay, cool. So I'm drawn to talk about lapis lazuli as I was shifting, clearing, moving into this video. This is one piece of lapis lazuli. This is a raw cut piece. I've just turned it quite rudely into a something that I wear, so which is kind of, I'm going to be changing that. But it's something, and it's kind of in a way worked as a pendulum for me as well. But and there's a polished piece, so this is a very light piece as well, and then you can see some dark bits as well in there. So anyway, so lapis lazuli is one of the most sought after stones that is in use. It has this, this one is quite a celestial blue, I call it, is that in this one here, but polished it'll be a little bit different, of course. And this is quite a light piece, but a bit of, like I say, some of them are quite a bit darker, more this blue, and some of them are a different, more of a it's kind of it's hard to describe. I think some call it a royal blue. Anyway, there are different shades. Okay, so it's celestial blue is a symbol of royalty, and honor of gods and power, spirit, and vision. So It's a universal symbol of wisdom and truth, this crystal. And it is associated with strength, courage, royalty, wisdom, intellect, and truth, okay? So I feel like this will help you with connecting with your inner truth, that will help you to bring out, break free of some of these, with this tower stuff that's going on in here. So finding out what is truly going on in there, basically. So it's a stone of wisdom, intuition, and can help deepen your connection with self, basically. Known for opening of the third eye, and also the third eye, okay, which is the center of your intuition and inner wisdom, basically, and it can help you uncover your truth, basically. Decision making and reclaiming your power. And so you can sit back in the driver's seat of your vehicle, of your life, basically. And with that inner wisdom, bringing in that inner wisdom and expanding your consciousness, basically. And as you move through or maneuver through what you are going through in your life and where you're wanting to go to in your life as well. So anyway, I think there's something. But basically I'm hearing courage, wisdom, intellect, truth. So you may, those are the key words there, and uncovering your truth. And so you can get into that car seat or that seat of life, your seat, and drive yourself. So the number 10 there is like storm warning. So there is, 1, new beginnings, 0, moving into that 10 is going into that transition of unprocessing that. So I'm picking that's going to be there. This is kind of, I feel like that's what they're talking about with the storm warning, that things may come up as you're going through there. You may resist and you may like blah, 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 but it's like going with the flow of that, okay? In this journey where you've opted to go to. So it's like, not everything is going to be rosy, Spirit is saying, as you know. So then we have like the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, okay? So working with the throat chakra. He's popped in, so with that. So number 3, about balance. 9, something is coming to an end to help you shift through something. Couldn't have bloody planned that any better with that choice, could I? But anyway, couldn't if I tried, actually. So anyway, so Archangel Gabriel is working with the throat chakra. I kind of do feel like that Archangel Michael, which is he's come through in this card, which is absolutely amazing, but he's working with the root chakra in this one. So there's some grounding as well with you, Virgo. So he is number 35 in the deck. So once again, balance, but also remembering energy is, energy is, and vibration, and how that everything is energy and vibration. So it's about, balancing that energy. But I'm just hearing grounding, speaking your truth. Okay, in that wisdom, with love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, always. Wow. And then cornucopia, okay, is number 11. So double new beginnings there. And cornucopia is the horn of plenty. So as you can see in this card, there is plenty of gold in there, like not just as in gold. I'm seeing gold light, but there's abundance. That's the energy that I'm looking, not so much the gold as in metal or coins and things like that. There's plenty of gold in there. And even the fruit, even though it's not like as in gold, it's like that abundance there, not just money, but abundance comes in many ways. So whatever it is you're doing, there's maybe, that brings you that abundance, whether it's across the board, abundance of love, abundance of money, but it's the horn of plenty, basically, is what cornucopia means. Okay, cool. Oh, that is good, but it's all just shrouded. It's all lit up in gold, the sun, basically. And it doesn't mean that when we talk about the horn of plenty, it's not just, like I say, about money, the financial side, but it can lead to that, whatever it is. That's what they're talking, what I'm hearing there. It leads to that, where there is abundance of financial support in that sense. Okay. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to leave that with you, Virgo. With lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement, and adventure. I hope this helps make sense to you, and is helpful for you, or to you. So anyway, we'll see you either next week with the new series, or the following week with this another flow on from this. Let's put it that way. Anyway, bye for now. We'll see you. Take care, and we'll see you then.